Yeah, my name is John Riley. I am Strategic Advisor to Erudine, a Yorkshire-based software house. I was for many, many years very closely associated with Reed. I was managing editor of Computer Weekly for many years and set up the 500 Club, which I'm very glad to see is still going very strong. Well, my day job is basically to be me and to go around the industry lobbying on behalf of small companies and innovative companies to try to break down some of the barriers for the deployment of innovation, deployment of the best of British brains that are out there in small companies. There are major barriers, and so basically my job is to lobby on behalf of all small businesses, although it's funded by one small business, to try to make change. It's an innovative software company which effectively, in layman's terms, it extracts business logic from legacy systems and enables one to evolve those systems on any platform. It asks, in software terms, it asks the question why and demands an answer and builds up the business logic behind the legacy systems. But that's a bit of a mouthful to explain to government ministers and people like that. So we're actually an innovative product, innovative British product, which, like all innovative products, it takes time to actually bridge the chasm from the innovation into corporate business, whether it's government side or whether it's commercial side. So I'm looking at both sides of that. On the government side, I think government is doing some great things with its major cuts and looking very closely at the way it's operating. I think that's a major opportunity for all small British innovation and businesses, because the whole structure is changing from capital-intensive large projects, which are basically gatekeepered by one very large systems integrator. I think effectively 12 systems integrators are responsible for 60% of government IT spend. That situation is going to change absolutely radically. And the whole situation is where people are using the benefits of cloud computing type technologies, where you componentize the services and the individual applications within a large project, break them down, and then the key thing is on integrating them and integrating the services and not the actual detailed applications. So that's going to open up a huge new area, I think, for British innovation, because they won't have to go through be part of very, very large projects. They'll be part of much broader service provision, and it will be payment by results, not payment up front. So small companies will be much better to adapt to that sort of thing, and that's basically what we're trying to encourage, is that climate. A lot of small companies have got to really up their game. A lot of them just don't get it. They are very technically focused, but they don't really understand business, and they don't understand the pressures that very large corporations have, that government has. They have very different pressures. And there are reasons why sometimes their innovation isn't always leapt on and incorporated into the organisation. So they really have a job to. They really do have to get to grips with that. And that again is one of the things that we are trying to help with through a not-for-profit organisation that we set up called UK Innovation Initiative, to basically try to help give some of the ammunition for small companies to help bridge that chasm. At the same time, we think that large companies need to get their act together as well, because they desperately need innovation, but often the innovation that they want passes technological tests, it passes the business tests, but it gets fouled up on the procurement process, because the procurement regulations and the needs of large companies to ensure that small companies will still be around in 2 years' time has in some cases made some draconian hoops for small companies especially to go through, and so we're looking at how we can help try to persuade large companies to maybe get together through organisations like some various procurement organisations or business organisations to help having to endlessly go through the same hoops on trying to prove that they are going to last for 2 years. I mean, basically, if they got a contract, they would last for 2 years. If they don't, they find it much harder to prove. So that's the sort of thing that I'm looking absolutely fascinating and great. And I must say, this show has been Absolutely excellent, and it's a tremendous conference actually, where a lot of these issues actually are being debated, which is very encouraging to see in a very positive light. www.erudine.com, and we've linked with City University, for example, to try to identify how small companies can actually gain government contracts, and what government needs to do to facilitate its own aim to get to have 25% of its IT funds going through small companies. So that's a good site. Also, another one is looking at the chasm, is www.ukii.org. That's O-R-G, ukii.org. So that's www.erudine.com and www.ukii.org. Both of those sites give an indication of what we're trying to do not just for ourselves, but it's on a broader level. Because we believe by opening the doors for all small companies and innovators, we're opening doors for ourselves as well. Maybe we're going to be first through them.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.